A report has found that the platypus should be classified as a threatened species. Populations have been dwindling in recent years as a result of land clearing, pollution and climate change. Dr. Tennille Hawke is a platypus conservationist and lead researcher of the report.
In terms of distribution of the platypus, we've actually estimated about a 22% decline across the entire species range, and also a 10% decline in population numbers based on records. This is slightly higher in New South Wales and particularly in the Murray-Darling Basin, where we've seen declines greater than 30% in the last 30 years. The problem with platypus is they are facing a number of threats, and the threats are really working together to drive these declines. The biggest one would probably be land clearing and the clearing of the critical riparian vegetation along rivers. Once you remove the trees which really stabilise the bank, platypus can't really successfully build their burrows, and it also reduces the water quality. River regulation is another big problem because not only do dams fragment the rivers and stop the species moving up and down the stream, but also the way in which the rivers are managed can really impact the downstream population if we're changing, the timing, the volume and the temperature of those flows. And I guess more recently, we've been seeing the impacts of climate change to platypus. So, increased severity of drought and fire. Obviously, platypus are dependent on these rivers for foraging and for nesting. So if the rivers dry out, that's a really big problem for the species. So essentially, this report has made a nomination to suggest that platypus should be listed as a vulnerable species. From here, we've obviously submitted to the Commonwealth, and then the next stages are that the Threatened Species Scientific Committee will assess what we've done and see if we've ticked the criteria well enough to recommend them for listing on the EPBC Act. In terms of what I guess members of the community can do, I would really encourage everyone to report their sightings where possible. So using things like atlas databases or iPhone apps such as Platypus Spot or iNaturalist, because that can really improve our understanding of the distribution and the abundance of platypus right across Australia.